What if? What if the world around you isn't just happening to you, but responding because of you? Imagine reality isn't some fixed stage, but more like a dynamic mirror, constantly reflecting the unseen currents flowing from right within your own being. Every hope, every quiet fear, every little assumption you hold. What if these are actually constantly shaping the experiences that unfold right before your very eyes? The staggering truth is, you're in a perpetual conversation with existence itself, always. But here's the disconnect. See, most of us, we're having this conversation completely unconsciously. We stumble through patterns, get frustrated by the same recurring obstacles, attributing it all to bad luck, maybe chaos, or just forces beyond our influence. We miss the whispers, ignore the nudges and remain baffled, truly baffled, by the echoes we see in our own lives. But listen, nothing is truly random. Those repeating cycles, those uncanny coincidences, the gut feelings you just can't explain, they're all part of the feedback loop. Life isn't arbitrary, it's a reflection, a mirror. The universe, this incredibly intelligent fabric of reality, is constantly tuning into your frequency, your unique energetic signature. So the critical question isn't really, is anyone out there listening? It's, are you aware, truly aware, of the broadcast you're sending out? In this video, we're cutting through the cliches, the magical thinking. We're diving deep into 5 tangible, grounded ways to consciously engage in this dialogue with reality and actually perceive the response. Because believe me, when you grasp how this fundamental interaction works, well, your perception of everything shifts permanently. Most of us navigate life feeling like isolated islands of consciousness. Thoughts feel private, emotions seem like fleeting internal weather, and our words, they just vanish into thin air. But consider this for a moment. What if your inner world, your dominant thoughts, those ingrained beliefs, your emotional baseline, what if it's broadcasting a constant signal? And what if the reality you perceive, the one you live every day, is fundamentally shaped by this energetic transmission? Now, this isn't about some distant cosmic entity granting wishes. No, it's about a fundamental principle, a principle of resonance. Think of it like tuning an old radio. Your internal state, the sum total of your beliefs, your emotions, your focus, that sets your frequency. Life, like this intricate resonant field, naturally, inevitably, brings experiences, people, circumstances that vibrate in harmony with that frequency. This explains why history seems to repeat itself in our lives, doesn't it? The same relationship dynamics, again and again. The same financial bottlenecks, the same emotional loops. It's not a curse, it's consistency. Unaware, we keep transmitting the same signal over and over, and reality, always precise, keeps mirroring it back. If you constantly anticipate betrayal, you'll invariably find situations that seem to validate that deep-seated expectation. If your core feeling is one of scarcity, abundance will feel perpetually, frustratingly out of reach. If you live in a state of anxiety, well, life will seem to provide endless reasons for it. It's not judgment. It's physics, really, operating on a subtle, energetic level. Like energy attracts like energy. What you consistently radiate, you inevitably draw towards you. What you deeply assume to be true, that tends to solidify as your experience. But here's a vital distinction. Please grasp this. Reality doesn't primarily respond to your surface-level wishes or spoken words if they conflict with your deeper state. You can chant, "I am abundant," all day long, but if your underlying feeling, deep down, is one of lack and fear, that deeper vibration is the dominant signal being received. You can yearn for connection, visualize it even, but if unresolved hurt creates an energetic wall around your heart, that's what reality reflects back. The feeling, the conviction, the energy you carry, that's the language reality understands. Not just your conscious desires, no, but the frequency you inhabit, day in and day out. This makes self-awareness the absolute cornerstone. Everything hinges on this, Because the moment you become conscious, truly conscious, of the signals you're emitting, you gain the power to change them. And when your broadcast changes, the reflection must change too. It has no choice. Most live unaware, feeling like victims of circumstance. But once you recognize you're actually in the broadcast booth, you can start choosing the transmission. Truly timeless wisdom on reality's hidden mechanics. Because look, consciously or not, the dialogue is happening. The key is shifting from unconscious broadcasting to intentional, conscious communication. Are you sending the signal that aligns with the life you truly desire? It all starts by mastering your internal frequency. You don't magnetize what you merely want. You magnetize what you fundamentally are on an energetic level. This right here is the watershed realization. It separates those who navigate life with this seeming ease, this flow, from those who feel perpetually stuck, always swimming against the current. The common mistake? Trying to talk to the universe using the wrong tools. Logic, pleading, even demanding. We think if we just articulate our desires clearly enough or bargain hard enough, reality will somehow comply. But reality, it doesn't process language the way we do. It processes vibration. It feels your energy. Everything vibrates, everything. Sound has pitch, light has frequency, matter itself is just energy in motion. You too, you are a complex field of vibrating energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs, they all contribute to your overall frequency, that unique energetic signature you broadcast out into the quantum field. And like attracts like, your consistent energetic state draws experiences that resonate on that very same frequency. Consider two people facing the exact same challenge. One, operating from fear and limitation, sees only roadblocks, impossibility. The other, grounded in possibility and trust, somehow finds hidden opportunities, solutions. It's not random chance, folks. It's resonant alignment. Think back, just for a second. When have you felt truly alive? Joyful, grateful, completely in flow? In those moments, didn't life just seem to cooperate? Synchronicities popping up, solutions appearing out of nowhere, connections happening effortlessly. Now, recall times steeped in frustration, doubt, or resentment. Didn't everything feel like an uphill battle? Obstacles multiplying, miscommunications, delays. It felt heavy, right? That's resonance in action. Your state dictates your experience. Joy, love, gratitude. These are high-frequency states. They literally expand your energetic field, drawing in experiences that match that expansive quality. Fear, anger, victimhood. These are lower, contractive frequencies. They narrow your field, attracting limitation and struggle. This is why chronic complainers often, uncannily, find more to complain about, and why genuinely optimistic people seem to stumble upon good fortune. Reality isn't biased, it's just impeccably matching the signal. But beware, please beware of bypassing. You can't just slap a fake smile on top of deep-seated pain and expect reality to be fooled. Trying to force positivity while ignoring underlying negativity, it's like painting over rust. The corrosion just continues underneath. Energy is authentic. You can repeat affirmations endlessly, but if your gut feeling screams, "I'm not worthy," guess what? That feeling is the stronger broadcast. The universe responds to your genuine state, not the mask you might present to the world. So the crucial inquiry becomes this: what energy are you actually living in right now? Not what you wish you felt, not what you think you should feel, but the honest, authentic vibration emanating from you in this moment. Because until you shift that core frequency, the reflection remains the same. Master your inner state, truly master it, and you master your outer reality. The universe is always responding, always, but it's hearing your being, not just your words. Let's talk about three powerful states, often misunderstood: intention, stillness, and presence. People think of setting intentions like making a cosmic wish list. Meditation is seen as a chore, maybe a mental workout, something to tick off. And presence? Oh, that's a nice idea, something we chase in rare quiet moments between the chaos. But what if these aren't separate practices at all? What if they are facets, different doorways, to a single potent way to engage with reality's flow? True intention. It isn't just asking for something, it's about aligning with it, deeply. It's not about begging some external force to intervene, but about tuning your inner state right now to the frequency of the reality you choose to experience. Most people, unfortunately, set intentions from a place of lack. Oh, I need this. I really hope this happens. That very energy, that neediness, it actually reinforces the absence of what they desire. Asking from desperation literally broadcasts powerlessness. See, the universe responds to the energy of your intention. Powerful intention, it comes from a place of knowing, of being the person who already has, does, or is that which they intend. It's stepping into the feeling state now, before the evidence appears. The most potent intentions aren't those desperate pleas whispered in the dark. They are calm, steady declarations of alignment, spoken from a place of inner certainty, declaring the reality as already in motion. Stillness, often sought through meditation, is the receptive counterpart. It's the other side of the coin. If intention is transmitting your signal, stillness is tuning your receiver. Reality is constantly offering feedback, guidance, subtle cues, but our minds, they're usually just too noisy, too cluttered to pick them up. We ask for answers, then immediately fill the space with mental chatter, worry, endless planning. Meditation or any practice cultivating stillness isn't just about stress relief, though that's great too. It's about creating the inner quiet needed to perceive the subtle currents of guidance flowing all around us. It's silencing the static, so the signal can come through clearly. When you quiet the internal noise, when you stop trying to force outcomes and just become receptive, truly open, the insights arrive. Maybe not always as words, but as intuitive nudges, sudden flashes of clarity, unexpected solutions, or just a profound feeling of knowing. But neither potent intention nor receptive stillness can truly work without presence. Because reality, it unfolds now, always now. The past is memory, the future is pure projection. The only point of power, the only place this dialogue actually happens is right here, in this present moment. Most people live mentally adrift, lost in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's anxieties, completely missing the feedback, the opportunities unfolding right here, right now. Presence, that's the portal. It unlocks everything. The more grounded you are in the now, the more you start noticing the synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences, the intuitive hits, that overheard conversation that holds the perfect insight, the unexpected opportunity that lands in your lap, the recurring symbol that keeps showing up. These aren't random. They are responses, feedback, but they only register, you only see them, when you're present enough to perceive them. So if you feel unheard, unguided, like reality is silent, perhaps, just perhaps, you're not fully tuned into the present moment where the conversation is actually always happening. You might be broadcasting, sure, but have you created the space to truly listen? Your imagination, it isn't just a playground for fantasy, it's a workshop for reality. Every vivid mental image you hold, every scenario you repeatedly entertain, every future you paint in your mind's eye, these are more than just idle thoughts. They are energetic blueprints, instructions. Reality responds not just to your feelings, but to the focused imagery you consistently hold. That inner movie screen, it's literally projecting onto the fabric of your life. Many dismiss visualization as mere daydreaming, maybe wishful thinking, something passive. But authentic visualization, oh, it's active. It's a potent, energetic form of communication. It's about experiencing your desired reality internally, feeling it before it manifests externally. Done effectively, with focus and feeling, it's one of the most powerful ways to sculpt your future from the inside out. Neuroscience actually confirms this. Your brain often doesn't distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a real one. Picturing yourself sinking that putt, feeling the ball drop, it activates similar neural pathways as actually doing it. This is the science behind why top performers relentlessly use mental rehearsal. They aren't just thinking about success, they are pre-living it, wiring their entire neurology and physiology for that specific outcome. By engaging your mind fully, vividly, you begin to influence your body, your emotions, and yes, eventually, the external circumstances that align with that inner experience. But here's the crucial amplifier, the secret sauce, feeling. Just seeing the picture often isn't enough. The emotional charge, the feeling attached to the image, that's what gives it power. That's what sends the potent signal out. Don't just visualize the new house. Feel the warmth, the safety, the sheer joy of being there. Don't just picture the loving relationship. Feel the connection, the trust, the deep intimacy. Feel it now in your body. And this is where so many falter. They visualize abundance while simultaneously feeling the gnawing anxiety of lack. They imagine vibrant health while dwelling in the cold fear of illness. They project the perfect image but don't manage to inhabit the feeling of it being real. Remember, reality responds to your dominant vibration, your embodied state. If the feeling contradicts the image, the feeling usually wins out. Need proof of visualization's power? Just consider its negative application for a moment. How often have you obsessed over worst-case scenarios, played out arguments in your head a dozen times, imagined failure in excruciating detail, felt that sinking dread as if it were already happening? And how often, be honest, have those very fears materialized in some form? That wasn't just bad luck. No way. That was unintentional creation. That was visualization working in reverse, guided by fear instead of clear intention. You see? You are visualizing constantly every single day, whether you realize it or not. The real question is, who's directing the movie playing inside your head? Is it your conscious intentions or your subconscious fears running the show? If you truly grasped deep down that every sustained mental image paired with strong emotion acts as a direct instruction to reality, well, you'd become incredibly mindful, wouldn't you? Mindful of your inner cinema. You'd treat visualization not as passive wishful thinking, but as deliberate, focused reality shaping. Combine clear imagery with congruent feeling and focused repetition, and you cease merely hoping for the future. You begin actively, powerfully sculpting it. The words you speak, especially those you repeat consistently, day after day to yourself, they hold immense power. But maybe not in the way you think. It's not about mindlessly chanting positive phrases, hoping to somehow trick the universe. Number, their true leverage, their real power, lies in their ability to reprogram the gatekeeper, your subconscious mind. Because if your underlying beliefs, those deep programs, remain unchanged, surface-level words just lack transformative force. They bounce right off. Think of your subconscious like the deep programming running your life's operating system. It governs your habits, your reactions, your automatic assumptions, and ultimately your point of attraction. From the moment you were born, it was absorbing messages from family, culture, significant experiences, shaping your core beliefs about who you are and how the world works. Maybe you heard money is scarce, or love always leads to pain, or perhaps, subtly, I'm just not capable. These weren't just fleeting ideas. Often, they became embedded identities, running silently, constantly in the background, filtering your perception and influencing every choice you make. Affirmations, or these declarative statements, they act like software updates for this powerful system. They introduce new code, new instructions designed to overwrite those limiting, outdated beliefs. But, and this is key, for the update to actually take, it needs the right conditions. Simply repeating, I am confident, while feeling riddled with deep insecurity, creates internal conflict. Your subconscious, sensing this contradiction, this lack of integrity, is likely to reject the new input because it clashes violently with the established, deeply felt belief. This explains perfectly why affirmations sometimes feel utterly ineffective, doesn't it? People are saying one thing while fundamentally being another. In the subconscious, it always prioritizes ingrained belief and core feeling over mechanically repeated words. Always. The secret then is emotional resonance. You need to feel the truth of the words, even if it's just a tiny spark as you speak them. When affirming "I am worthy," don't just mouth the syllables. Connect, actively connect, with a moment, however small or distant, where you genuinely felt even a flicker of worthiness. Anchor into that feeling, let it expand within you, because it's the vibration, the energy generated by the feeling-infused words, that the universe, and crucially, your subconscious, responds to. Another common pitfall: using affirmations only in moments of sheer desperation, trying to force a change out of fear. But this just reinforces the energy of lack and struggle. Effective affirmations aren't frantic attempts to escape your current reality. They are powerful declarations of the new reality you are consciously stepping into. They are reminders, anchors, for your chosen identity, reinforcing who you are becoming. Used consistently, daily, and with genuine, embodied feeling, they gradually begin to rewire those subconscious patterns. And as the subconscious slowly accepts the new belief, well, your thoughts, feelings, actions, and consequently, your external reality naturally begin to align with it. Just think for a moment. Consider the unconscious affirmations you've likely been running for years. The subtle self-criticism, the habitual worry loops, the resigned sighs of "it'll never work out." These too are programming your reality, just in a direction you probably don't want. So if your internal monologue has been reinforcing limitation day after day, then consciously choosing and truly embodying empowering declarations isn't just helpful, it's absolutely essential. Reality is listening, yes, but your subconscious? That's the direct line. Align your words with genuine embodied belief and watch the reflection begin to shift. There's something uniquely potent about translating thought into written form. Ideas swirl, emotions shift like clouds, but writing anchors them. It takes the ephemeral, the invisible, and gives it substance, a tangible presence right here in the physical world. And when it comes to engaging with the responsive nature of reality, writing down your intentions, your gratitudes, your declarations, it can be an incredibly grounding and clarifying act. It's more than just journaling. It's a conscious act of deliberate creation. Most people carry this whole nebula of desires and fears within them, often contradictory, often unclear even to themselves. Thoughts race, focus scatters, energy fluctuates wildly. This internal ambiguity, it sends out mixed, confusing signals into the field. But reality, it responds best to clarity, to focus, to conviction. And the simple act of writing, it demands clarity. Because when you sit down intentionally to consciously script your reality or communicate your intentions through writing, you're forced to distill your thoughts. You have to choose specific words, define precisely what you truly desire, and articulate your why. This process in itself refines your energy, bringing coherence and order to your inner state and powerfully focusing your broadcast. You move from vague, hopeful wishing to specific, resonant declaration. Writing to the universe or scripting your desired state, it isn't just about listing demands like a cosmic shopping list. It's about stepping into the energy of that reality as you write. It's about infusing the words on the page with the palpable feeling of gratitude for its inevitable unfolding, the deep trust in the process, the unwavering certainty of its arrival. You speak to reality as a collaborator, an equal partner, not as a beggar pleading for scraps. You're not just making a request, you're actively aligning your frequency with the already done, already unfolding state through the focused, tangible act of writing. Now, some people find power in keeping these written intentions, reviewing them regularly to reinforce the energy, keeping the vision alive. Others prefer a ritual of release, writing it all down, feeling it fully, deeply, then perhaps burning the paper, symbolizing trust and complete detachment from how or when it unfolds. Honestly, The specific method matters less than the energy invested. The conviction, the clarity, the depth of feeling poured into the written word, that is the key. Because writing in this context is so much more than self-expression. It's truly a statement of intent, projected onto the very canvas of reality. It solidifies your alignment, focuses your precious energy, and creates a powerful vibrational anchor in a way that fleeting thoughts often just can't achieve. Think about the historical power of written decrees, signed contracts, sacred texts. Words committed to form carry undeniable weight, don't they? They shape perception, define realities, command attention. Your intentional writing, it acts as your personal decree, a sacred pact with the unfolding potential of your own life. And when done with focused energy, unwavering belief, and heartfelt feeling, this simple act can initiate profound shifts, setting subtle yet powerful forces in motion to bring your declared reality into tangible being. So, what would you commit to paper right now if you knew reality was taking notes? Because, in a very real sense, it is. Ultimately, engaging with the universe, this whole process, it isn't a passive activity, not at all. It's not about sending out a wish and then just waiting by the mailbox hoping for the best. It's about recognizing profoundly that you are already creating moment by moment, day by day, and then stepping into that role consciously, deliberately, powerfully. Most people, without realizing it, inadvertently shape their reality through unfocused thoughts, reactive emotions, deeply ingrained limiting beliefs. They send out these static-filled, often contradictory signals, maybe wanting abundance while simultaneously feeling steeped in scarcity, craving deep love while secretly fearing vulnerability. And then they genuinely wonder why life feels so confusing, so stuck. But reality isn't ignoring them. It's impeccably, perfectly reflecting their own internal incoherence right back at them. Conscious communication with the universe. It means becoming a deliberate creator, stepping up. It's about aligning your inner world, your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, your focus, with the reality you consciously choose to experience. It means bravely identifying and gently releasing the internal contradictions that constantly sabotage your deepest intentions. It requires moving from hopeful, maybe desperate wishing, to decisive, grounded knowing. Reality mirrors your level of conviction. It just does. Hesitation? It breeds hesitation in return. Doubt? It attracts experiences that seem to justify that very doubt. Constantly questioning, will this really work? Is it happening yet? That broadcasts uncertainty, loud and clear, and reality faithfully reflects that uncertainty right back. It's not a test. It's not punishment. It's simple, impersonal, energetic resonance. So many people derail their own progress without even realizing it. They set powerful intentions, visualize vividly, affirm with feeling, and then, almost immediately, they revert to scanning the horizon anxiously for results, checking constantly, growing impatient. Where is it? Why isn't it here yet? But that focus, that intense focus on the absence, it powerfully reinforces the state of not having. The very moment you treat your desire as something separate, something out there that you need to chase or acquire, you energetically push it away. You affirm the waiting, the lack, and so you continue to wait. This is the incredible power of embodiment. It's the crucial shift from asking for something to being it. Instead of pleading for love, you consciously cultivate the feeling, the frequency of love within yourself right now. Instead of desperately seeking abundance, you practice gratitude and generosity from wherever you currently stand. Instead of searching endlessly for external validation or proof, you move with the quiet inner certainty that what you seek is already unfolding, already on its way. Reality responds to who you are being in this very moment, not who you hope to become someday. That shift in being, that's the master key. And here's a crucial insight. Something most people miss. Perceived obstacles. They aren't necessarily roadblocks stopping you. Often, very often, when you set a clear, powerful intention for growth or significant change, life brings up the very things within you, the old patterns, the limiting beliefs that are out of alignment with that new intention. It's not a test of your worthiness. It's more like a clarification process, a purification. You asked for more abundance? Reality might suddenly highlight your limiting beliefs about money that need releasing. You desire deeper connection? Unresolved fears of intimacy might unexpectedly surface for healing. These challenges, they are actually opportunities, invitations to clear the path, not signs to give up and retreat, but many misinterpret them, lose faith, think, see, it's not working, and fall back into those comfortable old patterns, completely missing the breakthrough that was waiting just beyond the perceived obstacle. Hold the alignment. Stay in the frequency of knowing, especially when the old reality seems frustratingly persistent. Because remember, the universe doesn't just give you what you want, it gives you what you are. And when you fully become the person who trusts implicitly, who embodies completely, who resonates deeply with the reality they desire, the external world simply has no choice but to eventually conform, to reflect that inner state back to you. It's not magic, though it can feel like it. It's the fundamental law of resonance in action. The question isn't if you have this power, but are you finally ready, truly ready, to consciously wield it? Most people, they're broadcasting constantly, all day long, but they rarely tune into the reply channel. We send out our prayers, our intentions, our heartfelt questions, and then almost instantly get swept away again by the relentless noise of daily life, completely missing the subtle answers, the gentle guidance that are always arriving. We expect, perhaps, booming voices from the clouds, flashing neon signs, dramatic, undeniable interventions. And in doing so, we overlook the profound fact that the most powerful guidance often speaks in whispers, through synchronicity, through intuition, through those quiet inner nudges so easily missed in our hurried, distracted lives. Reality is always responding, always reflecting, always guiding. But if your attention is elsewhere, tuned out, the messages simply go unheard. The signs, they're constant. That chance encounter that radically shifts your perspective. The book falling open to the exact page you needed to read. The recurring number sequence that keeps catching your eye. That persistent gut feeling you just can't shake. The song lyrics on the radio that seem to answer your unspoken question perfectly. These aren't mere coincidences, friends. They are data points, feedback, responses tailored specifically to your energetic inquiries. But what do? We rationalize them away. Oh, that was just random. Dismiss them as trivial. That couldn't possibly mean anything. Or simply, we don't even notice them in the first place. And in doing so, we inadvertently disconnect ourselves from the very guidance system we claim to be seeking. A common error? Impatience. Expecting instant, obvious answers delivered neatly on our demanding human timetable. But reality, it operates on a different clock. A wiser clock, perhaps. Guidance arrives not always when we demand it, banging on the door, but when we are truly ready, truly open to receive and integrate it. Sometimes the answer is the delay, a necessary pause for inner alignment, perhaps, or for other crucial pieces of the puzzle to fall into place externally. Sometimes a clear no or an unexpected redirection is actually the most loving, most beneficial guidance, steering us away from a path not truly meant for us, saving us future heartache. And sometimes that apparent silence, it isn't absence at all. It's an invitation to listen more deeply, to refine our own inner state, to cultivate trust, unwavering trust in the unfolding process. We also limit how answers can arrive by holding on to rigid expectations about how they should look or sound. We ask for clarity but expect it only in a vivid dream, completely ignoring the crystal clear insight offered casually by a friend over coffee. We desperately seek a sign but define exactly how it must appear, thereby missing the obvious symbolic message playing out right in front of our eyes. We crave guidance but fundamentally distrust our own intuition, waiting endlessly for external proof instead of honoring the quiet, persistent knowing that's already within us. Reality speaks in multiple languages, you see. It speaks through experience, through feeling, through synchronicity, through intuition, through symbolic events. If we only listen for words, we miss the vast majority of the rich, ongoing conversation. True reception, truly hearing the answers, requires letting go. Letting go of the need to control how, when, or where the answers come. You simply cannot dictate the terms, micromanage the process, or force the timing. Engaging in this profound dialogue requires trust, deep trust. It requires openness, radical openness, and it requires surrender, a willingness to recognize that the guidance might not look or feel like you imagined, but it will be precisely what you need, exactly when you need it. Most people will continue to ignore the subtle, beautiful symphony of feedback playing constantly all around them. But you're learning to tune in. Absolutely foundational wisdom for understanding reality's hidden mechanics. Because the universe is responding. Always. The real question is, are you finally ready to truly listen and consciously participate? Talking to the universe, engaging with reality in this way, it isn't ultimately about asking for things, It's about becoming. It's about the profound, life-altering realization that you are not separate. You are never separate from the creative intelligence, the energy that weaves through all existence. You're not some pawn awaiting fate's decree, not a petitioner hoping for favors from on high. You are an active participant, a co-creator, constantly influencing, shaping your experience with every single thought, every belief, every feeling, every focus you hold. And when you truly integrate this truth deep in your bones, everything changes. Everything. Stop searching outside yourself for validation, for proof, for permission to finally step into your inherent power. That very act of seeking external confirmation, it keeps you tethered, bound to limitation. Reality doesn't initiate the change first, you do. It simply mirrors your lead. It won't shift. It can't shift until you shift your internal state first. When you embody certainty, when you move and act from the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, when you align your energy consistently with the reality you choose, reality itself has no choice but to begin rearranging, reorganizing around that new dominant frequency. Now, this isn't about forcing or controlling or desperately grasping for outcomes. No, it's about resonance. It's about effortlessly aligning with the natural flow by being the energy you wish to attract. Manifestation. It isn't really about getting something external. It's about aligning with it internally. You don't wrestle love or abundance or peace into your life through sheer willpower. You cultivate the inner state, the inner frequency, that naturally resonates with those qualities, and then, almost like magic, they are drawn to you. The very moment, you stop viewing your desires as something separate, out there, and start truly embodying their frequency now. That's when the shift begins. That's when everything starts to move. Reflect on those times in your life, those moments when things just clicked, when opportunities showed up effortlessly, when you felt deeply, undeniably aligned, totally in the zone. Those weren't flukes. Those weren't accidents. Those were powerful moments of perfect energetic coherence between your inner state and your outer reality. And the only difference between then, and potentially always, is conscious awareness and dedicated practice. The more you consciously cultivate this inner alignment, the more you shift from desperately needing external signs to implicitly trusting your own inner knowing. The more consistently, the more gracefully reality responds in kind. But understand this. Please understand this. This is not a quick fix. It's not a one-time technique or a magic trick. It's a way of living, a way of being, a continuous, moment-to-moment practice of self-awareness, energetic responsibility, and conscious alignment. It's moving from merely hoping reality is listening to deeply knowing you are in constant, intimate dialogue, knowing that every choice, every thought, every feeling matters, knowing the energy you send out inevitably, invariably returns, finally knowing that you were never truly separate, never powerless, never disconnected. Reality doesn't just respond to you, it moves with you. The moment you fully claim your role as a conscious creator, release the doubt, release the waiting, release the endless second-guessing, and step fully, bravely, into the frequency of your chosen reality. Life begins to unfold with a grace, a precision, a beauty that reveals it was always waiting for your lead, not because you forced it, but because you finally, truly aligned with it.